Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to another video as I try to work in some new holiday-related films for this season. This latest one just released on Shudder about a week prior to this video coming out, which is for The Sacrifice Game from 2023. The synopsis for which is as follows. It's bad enough that boarding school students Samantha and Clara can't go home for the holidays, but things take a deadly turn when a murderous gang arrives on their doorstep, just in time for Christmas. So, this was a good one, and it brings us into a very quick opening, showing a home invasion a few days before Christmas. It's very brutal, going from kind of like window to window, following our invaders through this house. It's brutal and violent attacks, which immediately pulled me in to see where they're going to go with this story, like where it's headed and everything. So also it's set in 1971. We get a good sense of the year and the setting as we gradually kind of settle into this boarding school where most of the action is going to take place. Now, this boarding school, like any others that I've seen in film, it's strict, a tad oppressive, but not overly. We're not having the school or the teachers really be any way related to like the antagonist's portion of this film. This is just our setting as we kind of flip between the school and this group of killers working their way toward it. So we get some information about a few of the people at this boarding school until it's basically just two students and one teacher that are left behind to spend the holiday there. So during this time, as I said, we also get that back and forth transitions showing what our group of killers are up to as they're carrying out these murders and are on their way to summon a demon. A quest which eventually brings them to this school. Now, once they're at the school, of course, we have another kind of home invasion kind of situation as they kind of push their way in and take over on their journey to summon this demon, since we only have 3 people there to try to like defend the place in a way. So it's standard, sure, aside from the demon summoning part of it. But home invasion stuff is, a bit freaky to me. I just recently watched The Strangers Prey at Night, and I had that same kind of unnerving feeling I had during any film which has a scene, related to home invasion, such as like A Clockwork Orange, let's say. There's something very personal about an attack like that, which hits hard, as well as the fact that, while in the case of this film, the goal to summon a demon, is definitely not realistic. Home invasion absolutely is. It's real, it happens, there are countless horrible real-life stories out there about that. So that sense of this could happen and this has happened makes this film a bit more scary to me. Now, along with this, we have some really fun performances by everybody involved. It's very brutal and cruel and really a bit scary. We also get some scenes of like cracks kind of forming in this, beginning to develop in this group of our invaders, particularly as one of the characters, one of the girls at the school, is kind of going to work on them, planting the seeds of distrust within that group. And a lot of that does come up later, the way that she's been like slowly manipulating them. So okay, it's fine. It's a fun film about a home invasion during the holidays and everything. But then about an hour into this hour and 20-minute film, or hour and 30-minute film, we get this interesting little twist that I didn't really see coming, but it really made it stand out and worth sticking around, through the end to see how it all works out. And I won't go into the details on that because I don't want to spoil anything. As you've seen with a lot of my videos, I try to not put in too many details, just give an overall sense of what to expect. But you can kind of guess some of it, has to do with the demon being summoned. But something I hadn't really caught on to, except to say a little while before, there's like a small hint about some of the direction that this might go. But when it happens, it hooked me, and I was just right in there wanting to see how this film was going to wrap up. So honestly, I had a really good time with this one. It has a great hook, has some scary violence, interesting little concept mixed with the home invasion idea. A great time frame, because being set in the 70s, we also bring in a really great soundtrack with this one as well. And an especially great twist, as we start to like close in toward the ending. Really, the only negative thing, which is just slightly negative, that I kind of felt like I was coming into a movie that was going to be very Christmas related. But this is a Christmas film similar to how Die Hard or Lethal Weapon is. It takes place during that time. It's set against it. And from that alone, there's a definite Christmas connection, but it's not a main factor in the story. It could happen at any other time. It's not a main factor like, say, Silent Night, Deadly Night, or just recently, I think it was my couple videos ago where I did It's a Wonderful Knife. But honestly, it didn't really take much away from it, so unless you were really wanting a super strong Christmas connection rather than it just being a backdrop to the story, it's definitely worth checking out. And needless to say, this one was a lot of fun and more than worth checking out. And speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this latest quick video here of mine for The Sacrifice Game from 2023, which at the time of this video is available on Shudder. If this one sounds interesting, head on over and check it out. But if you're not a Shudder subscriber and you don't want to have to sign up for yet another new streaming service, go ahead and just Google around for a trial. They usually have something available. You can hop in, check it out, and then see what else Shudder has to offer, which is quite a bit. They have tons of horror and thriller, everything from cheesy 80s stuff that's laughable, I need like really low budget stuff, to some really good award-winning films on there. Anyways, if you have seen this one, what are your thoughts on it? Sound off in the comments. And also, if you're not a subscriber here, please consider subscribing, as it really does help out quite a bit. I try to put up 1 to 3 videos a week, so you can check out my back catalog to see some of the other kinds of films that I've covered here and there, and that I've made little recommendations and playlists for. But that's about all I got for this one, so thanks for coming by, and I will see you in the next one.